Hi, my name is Chris with the Leeper Realty Group. On my segment of the American Dream, we're going to roll back the clock a little bit and take a look at March Airfield Museum. This is going to give us some of the history of the original March Air Force Base, which was founded in 1918. Some say that this military base, along with the affordable housing, has resulted in the major boom here in Riverside County. Let's head on in and talk to Jeff and get a little bit more history. Come on in. Jeff, how are you, sir?
Very good.
Thank you so much for having us out. We really appreciate it. Super excited to take a look around this museum. Let's head on in.
Well, glad to have you here. Let's take a look.
Jeff, thank you again for having us out here. So we're at March Airfield Museum, which is going to give us a little bit of the history about March Air Force Base, which I think was founded in 1918. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. It was founded in 1918, and it was originally founded by community members from Riverside. The Riverside Chamber of Commerce got together and decided that they needed an airfield here because they thought it would help in growth, it would help the community grow and become more modern. So they gathered together, collected up a little land, and then offered the land to the United States government at $1 an acre.
Wow, $1 an acre. Wouldn't we love to see those prices today?
It was a great deal.
Very nice. This was right around World War I, is that correct?
1918 is when this all happened. It was largely an outgrowth of World War I. We had a lot of people in Washington, D.C. who were concerned that the United States Air Force was very, very small and would not be able to compete with the larger European air forces. So they pushed a $640 million budget just for the Air Force through Congress, and one of that was to build a base here at March.
$600 million back in 1918.
Back in 1918.
That's a big dollar.
That's a lot of money.
Okay, so we started in the early 1900s. Now we're over in the 1940s. Tell me a little bit about, continue through the history.
Well, the base in Riverside County experienced a great deal of growth two different times. One was during the 1940s when the Second World War started. And the base was still pretty small, but when the war began, it looked like it was coming. Things began to start to build up. So instead of having only a few thousand people here at the base, they started to have tens of thousands of people.
Okay.
This was one of the largest training bases on the west coast of the United States at the time the Second World War happened. And in fact, March Field became what we know today as March Air Force Base during the Second World War. Let's take a walk down towards the Officers Club area. This is a replication of the Officers Club as it was in the 1940s. Training was extremely important during the 40s, and March Field was central to all the training that you see in the United States.
So this time is actually near and dear to me. Both of my grandfathers actually at one time were stationed here at March Air Force Base.
It was a period of great growth right after the Second World War. In the 1950s and 60s, March Field became the largest air base on the West Coast, and it was the headquarters of the 15th Air Force that controlled all the nuclear bombers and all the intercontinental ballistic missiles west of the Mississippi River.
Very nice. So I hear we're going to go take a look outside at some of these nice big planes, right?
We are. We're going to go take a look at them right now.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Yeah, well, we were talking about the Cold War period. It's one of the largest periods of growth for the Riverside area and for March Field in particular. This aircraft that we're next to right now is a B-52 Stratofortress. It's a nuclear-armed bomber that was in use during the 1950s, 60s, 70s, and in fact, they're in use still today.
Wow. This thing is a monster.
This particular aircraft did 175 combat missions over North Vietnam during the Vietnam War. And it also stood alert, nuclear alert, here at March Field. And it's one of the aircraft that we have that actually served here at March Field.
Very interesting stuff. Jeff, thank you so much for having us out. We really appreciate it. I can't wait to come back and see you again.
Absolutely, anytime.
My name is Chris Leeper. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this segment. I clearly have a passion for aviation, and I hope you guys got some good information out of this. We look forward to seeing you guys next time on The American Dream.